Okay folks, gather around, let's talk hookah. This bubbling water pipe, often draped in an exotic mystique, has a history as rich and smoky as its fumes. Originating centuries ago in ancient Persia and India, hookah, also known as shisha or nargile, was once the pastime of royalty and elites. Fast forward to today, and hookah has gone global. It's become a social staple, particularly among young adults, often perceived as a cool and exotic way to unwind with friends. Picture dimly lit lounges, the air thick with fruity aromas, and groups huddled around glowing embers, sharing stories between puffs. But behind the alluring facade and the social allure, a darker truth lurks. Hookah, despite its seemingly harmless facade, is anything but. It's time to clear the air, folks. Let's dive deep into the hookah haze and uncover what's really going on behind those flavored clouds. Hookah lounges have become increasingly popular, especially among young adults. They offer a sense of community and a place to relax and socialize. The enticing aromas of flavored tobacco, from sweet apple to exotic mango, fill the air, masking the harshness often associated with traditional cigarettes. The communal aspect of hookah plays a significant role in its appeal. Sharing a hookah with friends is often seen as a bonding experience, a ritual that strengthens social connections. The relaxed atmosphere of hookah lounges, often adorned with plush seating and dim lighting, further enhances the allure. However, this seemingly innocuous social activity masks a dangerous reality. The sweet-smelling smoke, the relaxed ambiance, and the camaraderie all serve as distractions from the serious health risks associated with hookah smoking. Don't be fooled by the inviting atmosphere and the camaraderie. Hookah is not a harmless social pastime, it's a serious health hazard cloaked in a veil of social acceptance. Let's cut through the smoke and mirrors, shall we? Hookah smoke, despite its often sweet aroma, is a toxic cocktail of harmful chemicals. We're talking about the usual suspects found in cigarettes: nicotine, tar, and carbon monoxide, but with a twist. See, that water filtration system everyone thinks makes hookah safer? It's largely a myth. While it might filter out some of the larger particles, many harmful toxins still make their way through that bubbly water and straight into your lungs. And don't even get me started on those flavored tobaccos. They might smell like a tropical vacation, but they're just as deadly, if not more so. These enticing flavors often mask the harshness of the smoke, leading people to inhale deeper and longer, increasing their exposure to harmful substances. So, while you're lounging around thinking you're just enjoying some harmless fun, your body's being bombarded with a toxic cocktail of chemicals. It's the wolf in sheep's clothing of the smoking world. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room: your lungs. Every puff of hookah smoke you inhale sends a wave of toxins crashing into those delicate air sacs working tirelessly to keep you breathing. Over time, this relentless assault takes its toll. We're talking chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, a debilitating condition that leaves you gasping for air. And let's not forget about the increased risk of respiratory infections like bronchitis and pneumonia. That nagging cough you've been trying to ignore? It could be your lungs sending an SOS. Hookah smoking is like slowly suffocating the very organs that keep you alive. Remember, breathing is kind of essential, folks. Don't let hookah rob you of that basic human right. Section 5. Heart health under fire. Hookah's hidden threat. Think hookahs only after your lungs? Think again. This social smoking trend has a bone to pick with your heart too. Remember nicotine, that addictive little devil we talked about earlier? Well, it's not just messing with your brain, it's wreaking havoc on your cardiovascular system as well. Nicotine sends your heart rate and blood pressure soaring, putting extra stress on those vital arteries working hard to keep your blood flowing. Over time, this can lead to a buildup of plaque, increasing your risk of heart attack and stroke. And let's not forget about carbon monoxide, another unwelcome guest in hookah smoke. This sneaky saboteur replaces oxygen in your blood, putting even more strain on your heart as it tries to compensate. So, while you're puffing away, thinking you're just relaxing with friends, your heart is silently screaming for a timeout. Don't ignore the warning signs. Section 6. Cancer's grip. Hookah smoke's sinister link. Alright folks, time to address the big C word: cancer. Hookah smoke, like its cigarette counterpart, is packed with carcinogens, those nasty little compounds that love to wreak havoc on your DNA. We're talking about an increased risk of lung cancer, of course, but it doesn't stop there. Hookah smoking has also been linked to cancers of the mouth, throat, bladder, and stomach. And let's not forget about the potential for esophageal cancer, a particularly aggressive and deadly form of the disease. The more you smoke, the higher your risk. It's like playing Russian roulette with your health, except instead of one bullet, the chamber's fully loaded. So the next time you're tempted to take a puff, remember hookah isn't just blowing smoke, it's blowing your chances of a long and healthy life. Section 7, Hookah versus Cigarettes, a deadly horse race. Now I know what you might be thinking, but John, isn't hookah safer than cigarettes? That, my friends, is the million-dollar question, and the answer is a resounding no. Sure, you might not be puffing on hookah as frequently as a chain smoker goes through cigarettes, but don't let that fool you. One hookah session can expose you to as much, if not more, tar and nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. And remember those long, leisurely hookah sessions? Those extended puffing sessions mean you're inhaling more smoke and more toxins deep into your lungs. So while it might seem like a casual indulgence, hookah is just as deadly as its cigarette cousin, if not more so. It's like choosing between arsenic and cyanide. Neither option is going to do your health any favors. Section 8. Debunking the myths, hookah's false promises. Let's debunk some common misconceptions surrounding hookah, shall we? Myth number 1. The water filters out all the harmful stuff. False. As we've already established, that water filtration system is more of a decorative element than a safety net. It might catch some of the larger particles, but the really nasty stuff, the nicotine, tar, and carbon monoxide, still make it through. Myth number 2. It's all natural tobacco, so it can't be that bad. Wrong again. Tobacco is tobacco, folks. Whether it's wrapped in a cigarette paper or soaked in honey and molasses, it's still packed with carcinogens and other toxins just waiting to wreak havoc on your body. Myth number 3. It's not addictive because you don't inhale it directly into your lungs. Seriously, you're inhaling it, aren't you? And that means nicotine is getting into your bloodstream, hooking you just like any other form of tobacco. Don't be fooled by these misleading claims. Hookah is not a safe alternative to cigarettes. It's just a different way to deliver the same deadly toxins. Section 9. Secondhand smoke, hookah's unseen victim. Think you're safe just because you're not the one puffing on the hookah? Think again. Hookah smoke isn't just harmful to the smoker, it poses a serious threat to anyone who happens to be breathing the same air. We're talking about secondhand smoke, folks, and it's just as dangerous coming from a hookah as it is from a cigarette. In fact, some studies suggest that hookah smoke might actually contain higher levels of certain toxins, making it even more hazardous to bystanders. So, if you're hanging out in a hookah lounge, even if you're not partaking yourself, you're still putting your health at risk. It's like volunteering to be a human air filter for someone else's toxic habit. Section 10. The need for awareness. Knowledge is power. The bottom line is this, folks. Hookah is not a harmless social activity. It's a serious health hazard that can lead to a whole host of problems, from lung disease and heart attacks to cancer and stroke. The problem is many people are unaware of the risks. They see hookah as a cool and exotic way to relax with friends, not realizing that they're essentially playing Russian roulette with their health. That's why it's so important to raise awareness about the dangers of hookah smoking. We need to educate people, especially young adults, about the very real risks involved. We need to shatter the myths and misconceptions surrounding this increasingly popular pastime. Knowledge is power, folks. And when it comes to hookah, knowing the facts could save your life. Section 11. Kicking the habit, resources and support. If you're a hookah smoker, I know it can be tough to quit. Nicotine is addictive, and the social aspect of hookah can make it even harder to break free. But trust me, it's possible, and it's worth it. There are resources available to help you quit, from counseling and support groups to nicotine replacement therapies and prescription medications. Talk to your doctor, do your research, and find what works best for you. And remember, you're not alone in this. Millions of people have successfully quit smoking, and so can you. It's time to ditch the hookah and reclaim your health. Your lungs and your heart and your DNA will thank you for it.